Hey, John Grube from OneManTrain.com. Yeah, I'm going to tell you about what I did today, which is my basic 1 minute on the heavy bag and 1 minute of step ups for rounds. And the last time I did it, and how it works out is I do 1 minute on the bag. I keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, no dancing, just move, hit, hit, hit for 1 minute. Doesn't have to be hard, just got to be got to be going, got to be tapping it. And then I did 38 step ups in that minute on the bench, 15-inch bench, so it's 19 each leg. And that's moving. So there is no rest in between the bag. That's why the bag is real close to my bench. And last time I did, I believe it was 370 step ups. Well, I upped it today. And I wasn't feeling my best today, so just letting people know that, even when I'm not feeling up to par, I try to push myself a little bit harder. And I think a lot of us have to, especially when we go out to do it. We don't mean to go out there. If we go out there and we're not feeling the great, we're not feeling up to our best. I find out if we get out there and do it, we seem to push ourselves a little bit better, a little bit harder. So anyhow, last time I did it, it was I wound up at 370 step ups. Today, I did 12 rounds instead of the standard 10, and I did 38 for those 12 rounds. So I wound up from 370 step ups to 456 step ups. And I'm telling you right now, man, that is moving. And I'm not going to bet I go any faster. But it's a great workout, and people been asking, step ups as good as jumping rope and burpees. You know what? All that matters is you get to where you want to be. Okay. Now, people in the gym back in the old days used to take a 135-pound barbell or whatever, and they would do a few step ups on a bench. They would do maybe 10, a couple sets of 10, and that would be it. So they were beneficial if you put more weight on for some reason, but they're not beneficial for people if you go a ton, if you do a shitload of them. I like it for conditioning. It's great. I like hitting the heavy bag for conditioning. A lot of things I do for conditioning. Well, I think that's just as good as jumping rope, because I'll do step ups with a combination circuit with jumping rope. If your back is sore from jumping and putting a lot of stress on, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's really no reason for it. Now, years ago, I have one of my best friends now. I met him as a truck driver, and he would ask me about supplements. And we were talking about the price of them and everything, and I asked him a question. I said, let me ask you a question. Are you going to be competing in any bodybuilding contests anytime soon? He goes, no. I'm like, then why bother with it? Okay? You've taken them over the years. You know what they're fucking do to you. If they're not real beneficial and you're not looking to be a fucking bodybuilder, just fucking stop taking it. Do other things. Eat better fucking food, whatever. But you do what you need to do to get you to where you want to be. It's not what I say. I like step ups. Okay? Like I said, I've talked about it before. WWF World Champion Bob Backlund. He was a boring wrestler. It was no fun watching him as a kid growing up. He didn't cheat. He wasn't a heel. He was a baby face. But his workouts, step-ups, and if you looked at him today, if you see him today, he's still in fucking phenomenal shape, and he's in his 70s. He's crazy fit. If I can be half of what he can do at his age, man, I'm fucking fine. And I'm not there to compete. I've talked about this before. But here's the thing. I do the things for me. I do the things that are going to work for me. I'm not out there. For instance, if I'm out in the field and I'm dragging stuff or I'm carrying stuff up and down hills weighted, I'm telling you right now, if I was walking by Muscle Beach and I seen guys bench pressing on the beach, I'm not going to stop and check that out. But if I see a guy on a football field or on the side of a hill fucking doing sprints or carrying shit up, or kind of like the movie Vision Quest. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's an old 80s movie about a fucking high school kid, Loudon Swain, who's going to wrestle he's going to drop down to 168 to wrestle the fucking undefeated state champion, Brian Shute. And when he goes to find Brian Schute's walking up the fucking stadium steps with a fucking telephone pole across his fucking back. That makes people stop and look. And it's not because, it's so cool. It's just that you never see it. Okay? Everybody's in the gym. You can always see that no matter where you're at. But when you see a guy sprinting up the side of a hill and he's all by himself and he's carrying shit, I'm probably not going to get near that fucking dude. Okay? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That fucking dude he means business. I'm not saying guys that go to the gym don't mean business. Not what I'm saying. But I'm more likely to look and fucking see what he's doing and like, wow, then the guy fucking benching 400 fucking pounds. That's just how I am. It's always been the way I've been. So when it comes down to what you're looking to do, what's going to benefit you, your family, your lifestyle, if you're a fucking competitive bike rider, mountain biker, you're going to train differently. Like I said, I've watched these videos on these CrossFit. That does not in any way grab my attention. That stopped was the first time I seen a kipping pull-up, and I seen people falling off the fucking pull-up bar. It just makes no sense to me. And people say, well, it's because you can't do it. Listen, I've done all those fucking things that all those people are doing. I've done the Olympic weightlifting under the teaching of an actual weightlifting fucking coach in the past when I was younger. I've done all these things. They don't impress me. So, to say, that the CrossFit's a cult, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. But what I'm saying is that when you're putting that shit out there, everybody thinks you got to be a fucking CrossFitter. You got to be a fucking one rep fucking, deadlifter. You got to be looking for the competing strongman. You got to be taking jujitsu. Hey man, you can do all that shit. It's up to you. It's a matter of what you want to do. Okay? Not taking jujitsu doesn't make you any fucking less of a man. Okay? Doesn't. But if you feel like you need to defend yourself or things like that, and a lot of guys will take this jujitsu because they're not around other men during the day, and that's a good let out for them. I've always played sports. I've always been around men. I've never been in an environment where I was in isolation. In my job, I never had a job where I was sitting in a cubicle all day, fucking surrounded by a bunch of fucking weak men and fucking fat women. I've been around men my whole life, where there was always competition, where there was always something going on. We have football games, we have wrestling matches, there's fist fights, there's, ball busting. Every year we had our Thanksgiving Day football games. We'd clear the fucking dock out, after second shift, 2 o'clock in the morning, we'd play fucking street hockey. I mean, we did all these things. So, I took martial arts and I did all these different things. I was a pro wrestler for a time. And so I've always been around guys. So I don't need to take those things. If you want to do it, that's fine. Okay? I'm not out there looking for a fucking fist fight anymore. But I can handle myself if I need to. Okay? But if you need that as a dude, then you go ahead and do it, okay? It's not going to be good or bad for you, okay? If you're not around men, it's probably good for you. Okay, but then I hear about people in the jiu-jitsu, they ripped my shoulder out, my elbow, my fucking nose is broke, and stuff like that. Again, now we're getting to a point where are you competing to make money, or are you doing this just to break your fucking body up? You got to make that decision. So, anyhow, that's what I did today. Think about what you want to do. Don't do it because other people think about it. I haven't done burpees in a long time. Somebody asked me that question. I haven't done burpees in a long time. There's reasons for it. I do what I got to do, man, and I'm going to continue to do it, whether it's boring for you or not. I figure I'd put it out there. It's a different way. I look at myself as in better than average shape compared to most men out there, and I'll continue to do that. I'm not worried about the six-pack ad. I'm not worried about my fucking PRs. I'm not, I show these little videos out there. They're boring, so they're not impressive. So I'm not doing it fucking for likes because I got barely any subscribers because I don't put it out there. I don't put any fucking keywords in there because I really don't care. Bigger my channel gets, the fucking more I might have to fucking deal with other fucking idiots, which I really don't have the time to. So do your own thing. Figure it out, man, what makes more sense for you. Okay? Because nothing's wrong, okay? If it works for you, then you fucking do it. If it doesn't, then fucking scrap it later.